Hi, Lauren Delsack here. I want to do a follow-up part 2 video on Bill Gates. Number one, for the purpose of showing you 3 recent life events that are extremely important and significant in his life and in lieu of what's going on. And several astrological measurements will show you the accuracy of a birth time at 10:08 p.m. as well. So I want to begin by looking at an event in April 2015. The exact date, important, April 3rd, 2015, when Bill Gates gave a TED Talk entitled, "The Next Outbreak, We're Not Ready." Now, the important thing in this event chart, we'll look at the solar arcs first, because solar arc Pluto came up to square the ascendant exact on April 16th, 2015. That's very precise for a birth time at 10:08 p.m. because we're dealing with, in birth time rectification, the angles of the horoscope. So in a solar arc measurement, when a planet would come up to aspect the angles of the horoscope. Not only that, but also, let me just say, the symbolism of solar arc Pluto to the ascendant is a major life milestone for deciding who you want to be for the rest of your life. So it's a major perspective change and readjustment. Now, in addition, the natal conjunction of Pluto and Jupiter came up through solar arc development to conjunct Neptune. And I talked about the importance of the Neptune symbolism in the previous 2 videos on the birth time rectification and the fate of Bill Gates. As a matter of fact, that natal planetary conjunction, if you're studying his life, look for when solar arc planets or angles hit that conjunction, and or that conjunction solar arcs to planets or points, and potentially transits to that conjunction, okay? So those solar arcs of solar arc Pluto conjunct Neptune, Jupiter conjunct Neptune occurred exact in January and August of 2015, encapsulating the event in April. So again, Neptune symbolism in his horoscope can represent his affiliation with drugs, pharmaceuticals, etc. Okay? And there's more symbolism in there. Now, the next event is extremely important. It took place exactly on October 18th, 2019, in New York City at 8:45 a.m. is when the event began. Now, Event 201 was co-organized by Bill Gates as a high-level pandemic simulation exercise on a worldwide pandemic, coronavirus pandemic. And you can just Google Event 201 and you'll go to the website of, it was in affiliation with Johns Hopkins University, the World Health Organization, etc., and Bill Gates Foundation. You'll see that this simulation event exercise took place just 3 months before the so-called outbreak in January of 2020. Very curious, okay? At any rate, they're not hiding anything, and I'll put a link in the description below that you can watch the video of the event 201, okay? They even say that the exercise consisted of pre-recorded news broadcasts, etc. So you can look that up. Anyways, the astrology, which is pretty fascinating. Solar arc Uranus arced to oppose his midheaven, exact date, October 17th, 2019. The event was on October 18th. So that's another verification that the birth time rectification at 10:08 p.m. is like right on target. When Uranus is going to come down to oppose the midheaven, this is a new start. When a planet arcs down to the cusp of the fourth, oppose the midheaven, it's a new start measurement. So something Uranian, we could say, sudden, unexpected, can be innovative, exciting the status quo with new developments through the profession, for example. Also very important was the solar arc of Pluto square Uranus in 2019, which symbolizes attainment of great goals through great effort, courage, drive, determination, progress usually in new directions, potentially a change of status, and emphasizing something very independent and individualistic within the person. Now, the transit going on at that time was transiting Uranus exactly opposed the Sun on October 17th for the retrograde hit of transiting Uranus opposed the Sun. I want to just correct myself. That solar arc of Uranus opposed the midheaven was on October 28th, okay? So 10 days exact after the event. You can't get, the astrology cannot be more perfect than that. It just can't be. One other solar arc for this event was the solar arc's Sun came up to square Mars, and Mars is the ruler of his 10th house, the Sun, his second house. So that puts finances and profession, and the Sun is one's drive for, let's say, it illuminates the identity, and it's coming together with Mars, okay, which is definitely how you apply your energy. So that can be an energetic solar arc, okay, certainly illuminating his identity through his status in the world, the midheaven, his professional direction, etc. Now, the third event, the importance of the third event took place as a TED Talk on March 25th, 2020, entitled How We Should Respond to the Coronavirus Pandemic. The importance of this is that transiting Uranus opposed the Sun for the last hit on March 29th, 2020, okay? So that transit of Uranus to his Sun marks two major events on the retrograde and the last hit. So in my previous video, I talked about the fate of Bill Gates in the March-April time period with transiting Uranus opposed the Sun when he resigned from his position in Microsoft to devote all his time to this health plan he has, okay? So what I want to say is that I found out about the TED Talk after making that video. Now I see that transiting Uranus opposed to the Sun was definitely, as one event, highlighting the TED Talk. The other transit going on, which I discussed also, was the first hit of transiting Neptune square the North Node, and the North Node represents the public and large groups of people. And I discussed the Neptune symbolism. The first hit, April 6th, 2020, just 7 days around the time of this event, this TED Talk. So these three events are definitely a sequence, definitely related, and he's a very interesting horoscope to study. for people who are studying astrology and you want to look at the life of an individual, major life events, and follow the solar arcs and the transits, you can learn a great deal through his horoscope. Again, I'm using 10:08 p.m. It's just right on the money with events. So I think the most important thing here that I wanted to convey, I was quite surprised about the event 201 that I recently found out about. Either Bill Gates is psychic or he has planned this. It's a plandemic that's been going on here for quite some time. So everyone can look into the research on their own. Times are very interesting now, and it's going to be really interesting to see what goes on over the next 2 years with this. Anyways, thank you for listening. I hope that this video has been instructive for you, and be well. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.
There are some good things happening. The work on a vaccine, although that probably will take 18 months, that's going full speed ahead. Our foundation is funding that. We're looking at getting vaccines to everyone in the world. So in the long run, that is the key thing.